Hey guys, hello, welcome back to the channel Jaya's Learning Corner. So this is the second video from class 10th chapter number 1, and we are going to discuss about the types of reactions in this chapter. All the reactions that is being coming in your exams under the syllabus, we will be discussing all that. So here are some types of reactions given, that is combination, decomposition, displacement, double displacement, dissociation and isomerization. These are the broad topics that is covered in your syllabus, but there are some other reactions also. So we will be discussing all that reactions in the video further. Okay, so without wasting much of your time, then start with the first reaction, that is combination reaction. So whenever we are saying something about combination, that means we are combining two things or two or more things. So the reaction in which two or more substances are combining to produce a new substance, that is called a combination reaction. Very simple as per the name. Here we are taking two different elements, that is calcium and sulfur. You can relate to the example, and these two elements are combining and are giving us calcium sulfide. So a simple combination is being used. You can relate it like this, that if a compound A is being added with compound B, then we are getting the combination of these two, and this is the combination reaction. Okay, so there are many examples. You have to practice more to learn how these are combining. The next is the decomposition reaction. As per the name, decomposition means to split up. So here, any reaction in which a compound is splitting up into two or more simpler substances, that is important to know, that is they are splitting up into simpler substances and they are called as decomposition reaction. Now, to decomposition reaction to be happened, we have to use some kind of energy. It could be heat, it could be thermal energy, it could be electrical energy, or any catalyst or the sunlight that we are using to complete this type of decomposition reaction. Now if we are talking about the examples, so here if we are using electric current, then it will be called as electrolytic decomposition reaction. So for those reactions, electric current is passed through an aqueous solution of a compound, and then the splitting up of compound will happen. So here we have taken two examples, one of water and the another of NaCl, that is sodium chloride. We have taken the aqueous solution of both of it and we are passing electric current through it, and they are splitting up into their elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen in the case of water, and sodium and chlorine gas in the case of sodium chloride. Okay, so these are two examples given. I cannot explain more examples in one video, so you have to relate some textbook or your help books to understand what are the different types of examples for this. Okay, so this is the basic idea, and this example is of electric current energy that we are using for splitting up. The next will be of if we are using heat energy. So here we have taken an example of zinc carbonate. Zinc carbonate is splitting up into zinc oxide and carbon dioxide, and this is how the thermal decomposition is done. If we are talking about sunlight, then if sulfur chloride is exposed to sunlight, then it will give us silver metal and the chlorine gas. So this is how the splitting up is done. So next we are taking up another reaction, that is displacement or substitution reactions. So as the name suggests, the reaction in which an atom or a group of atoms in the molecule is displaced by another atom or another group of atom, then it is called as substitution reaction or displacement reaction. In simple words, you can say whenever one compound is displacing another compound and another compound is substituting the place, then it will called as a substitution reaction or displacement reaction. Here you can see we have three elements A, B and C, and these three elements are switching their place and is releasing and is completing the reaction. So here you can relate to the example, the hydrogen molecules are being displaced by the chlorine molecules. So these type of reactions where you are displacing the one element and you are substituting the another element, that is called as the displacement or substitution reactions. So you have to practice all these kinds of reactions so that you become very familiar whether after seeing the reaction what type of reaction is that. So you need practice for that. Okay, so next reaction is dissociation reaction. Whenever a substance is breaking up into positive and negative ions, that means cations and anions, if they are splitting up into this, then it will be known as the dissociation reactions. Now what is the most important thing that you have to remember is whenever any amount of element is being split up into anions and cations, similar amount of anions and cations will be released. That means if we are talking about 1 mole of NaCl, sodium chloride, then 1 mole of sodium plus ions and 1 mole of chlorine minus ion will we get. Same amount of anions and same amount of cations we will be getting. So this is a dissociation reaction in which dissociating elements breaking up into positive and negative ions. Okay. The next comes double displacement reaction. As per the name suggests, here displacement is being done and double the time is being done, that is the two atoms will be displaced. Here you can see AB as one compound, C and D is one compound, and both of them are changing their place and forming some new substance. Here you can see some examples that is being given. All these examples you can relate and you can see that how this displacement is being done. In the first example, the chlorine is being displaced by the OH ion, that is the hydroxide ion, and is forming different compounds. In the next example, you can see that hydroxide ion and the chlorine ion is changing their place and forming different types of compound. Similarly, in the third example also the nitrate ion and the iodine ion is changing their place and displacement is being done. So this is how the double displacement does. Both the element will be changing their places. Okay, so practice more and more of the examples so that it will be very clear to you which type of reaction is being talking about in the reaction. Okay, so the next reaction is the isomerization reaction. In this reaction, the molecular formula will remain the same, but by the simple rearrangement of atoms, we are getting a different compound, another compound. Hold together the another compound we will be getting. So this is how you can relate by the example. Here we have getting butane and here we are getting 2-methylpropane. If you are looking at the formula, it will be same. See, here is 4 and here also the carbon compound is 4. And if you are talking about the hydrogen ion, here also the hydrogen is 10, and if you are talking about in this, the hydrogen atom is 10, but the molecular arrangement is different, so the compound has become different. So this is what isomerization reaction is all about. Okay. The next comes the fast reaction and slow reaction. So that means what are the difference? Mainly the difference comes in this. So time taken for a fast reaction is short and the time taken for a slow reaction is long. The rate of reaction is said to be high in fast reaction and the rate of reaction for a slow reaction is low. Examples has been given here. You can relate to different examples. Burning of petrol in a car engine, ripening of tomatoes, all these are the fast reaction. And if we are talking about rusting of water pipes, a piece of newspaper turning yellow, these are the types of reactions that comes under slow reactions. Okay. So this is important as per the difference point of view. If a question sometimes comes that what is the difference between two types of reactions, there you can give this example. The next comes oxidation and reduction reaction. These two reactions, oxidation and reduction reaction, whenever an electron is releasing, then it will called as a oxidation reaction, and whenever an electron is taking up and is forming a negative ion, then it will called as reduction reaction. That means a reaction in which electrons are released or lost, then it will called as oxidation reaction, and the reaction in which electrons are accepted, then it will be called as reduction reaction. Then next comes redox reaction. What is a redox reaction? A reaction in which one substance is oxidized and the other is reduced. It is called as the redox reaction. That means both the phenomena of oxidation and reductions are taking place at the same time. You can relate to the example here. The one carbon atom is oxidizing from -4 to +4 ion, and 4 oxygen atoms are also being reduced to 0 to -2 ion. So you can relate all the examples and you can see whether the reaction is being oxidized or reduced. Then next comes the non-oxidation reaction or non-redox reaction. That means neither oxidation nor reduction is being taking place, or nor gaining of electrons nor losing of electrons is also taking place. Simple displacement is being done. So in a non-redox reaction, displacement only and substitution only takes place, and nothing oxidation reduction is being taking place. Okay. The next is isomers and rancidity. These are some related terms. What are isomers? Compounds having the same molecular formula but different chemical properties. So here you can see the examples. And rancidity is fats and oils in the food kept for long time gets oxidized and become rancid, and the taste of the food changes and causes infection on eating. This is called rancidity. Okay, so these are two terms that is generally being asked sometimes in definition. So this comes with the end of the chapter, and in the next chapter we will discuss about some important questions. Okay, so till then just prepare for your exams, do well and be healthy. Okay, thank you. Just subscribe and share with your friends also, and keep watching. Bye bye.